Hello and welcome to 17 job search tips according to St. Patrick's. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody across the world, wherever you're looking from, wherever you're watching from. It's great to be here. St. Patrick has given me his 17 job search tips. So, firstly, or you should always be on a job search. My philosophy as a global executive career management practitioner is the day you land a new job is the day to start your next job search. Can you buy into that? The day you land your new job is the day to start your next job search. You should always manage your career. Sadly, so many people don't, and then they're left stranded. So, hopefully, that resonates with you. So, here are 17 top job search tips as given to me by St. Patrick. And please feel free to comment on what you learn about these job search tips as I go through all the 17 in the next little while. I've got my Guinness here. I'm ready to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. It's a great day, and I grew my moustache particularly for today. So here we go. Number one, conquer the fear of rejection and stay positive. You won't. You won't win all the time, and it can be tough to be rejected many times. You're not going to win all the time. Look at it this way: the more rejections, the closer you are to a win. So that's the way to look at it. You need to look at it that way. And the more rejections you receive, the closer you are to a win. Have a cheerleader, somebody who's close to you to help you through the arduous job search because it has its ups and downs. Someone to vent with, someone to share your job search plans and maybe adjust them halfway through or quarter of the way through and help you with ideas, because that's the way you're going to win through the tough times and through the good times. They can be there for you both. We don't hire negative people. So don't so always hire your negative, as always hide your negativity, your frustration. Yes, you want to rip your hair out, but as you go through a job search, but don't stay on that path, because a job search can bring you huge rewards and money and happiness. So stay positive. Don't show your frustration. Don't show your negativity, and portray a positive attitude in all networking meetings, other person interact in person interactions, and of course the interview, plus all your job search, all your interaction on the internet. There are several people who I see air their frustrations about executive recruiters and other things, and that's negative, and that's going to bring you a bad reputation. I know, just of some people I've seen has counted them out of opportunities because they've expressed their frustration, their their negativity online, and that's not the way to go. So, number two, treat the job search if you are in career transition, i.e., unemployed. I never call it unemployed, I call it career transition. Treat the job search as a full time appointment, a full time gig, a full time job. Give it as much as you can. It's like anything. The more time you spend on job search, the more rewards you will come your way. It doesn't just apply to job search, it applies to everything. So the more time you spend, the faster you will be returning to work. And if you listen to some of St. Patrick's other job search techniques, skill sets, you will get back to work a lot faster, because it is an art to conduct a job search, and not that you want to do it frequently, but when you do, you want to be professional at it, and you want to go from A to B in the fastest possible way. So please, if anybody's got any comments or any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. Comments and then questions at the end of the 17 job search tips. So this is a crucial thing that so many people fall down on. Don't let your spouse or other people around you during a job search, if you are in career transition, distract you. Adhere to the goal of securing a new job like as fast as possible, not wasting time on that honey-do list that so many people get distracted by. Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do the laundry? Can you go shopping? Can you paint that wall? Can you do this? That's been on the honey-do list for a long, long time. That honey-do list can wait for a little bit longer because you need to get back to work like ASAP. And the more distractions you have from those around you and your influencers, the longer it's going to take for you to get a job. So work 9 to 5, maybe 9 to 6 or 9 to 7 each weekday. And the more hours you put into your job search, the more rewards will come your way. It's I can tell you that after working in this business for 31 years, and St. Patrick will tell you that. So take weekends off for rest and relaxation and have some downtime because your health and wellness is also very, very important too. So make sure you don't get distracted. Your honey-do list and any other distraction can wait until you've got back to your full employment. Number 3, St. Patrick gave me this. He told me it's very, very important. Number 3, network. He's a networker. I'm a networker. I'm regarded as a fearless networker, no holds barred, because I like to help people. Networking is giving before taking. So you need to embrace that. So hopefully you already have an extensive network. Most people do. So you need to build that network while this is a cardinal sin, while you're gainfully employed, not just while you're in career transition and frantically connect with everybody and anybody. That's not the way, that's not the productive way or the ethical way of networking. So build your network as your career advances and evolves. Don't just do it while you're in career transition. But be prudent with your networking. Don't just go to every single networking event that there is in your area. Be particular. You don't need to go to something that's outside your discipline or outside your skill set or outside your industry. You need to be very narrow in your networking because that will bring you greater rewards. So be particular in your networking. Define your audience and set targets. Define your audience and set targets. Don't be tempted to wander elsewhere, to wander to another function or whatever because it sounds good. The more targeted you are, like a bullseye, the better it's going to be for you. So you need to network in person. You can network at professional associations. I suspect that many people watching today will be at the professional associations and other industry events. There's meetup.com. It's a great website. MEETUP.com. And it's in most major cities across the world, not just here in Canada, but across the world. And if there isn't a group that you think fits your networking, your audience, you need to create one. And then you really become a leader, maybe a thought leader, pretty damn quick because you've formed a meetup group. So network. There's chambers of commerce. Network with ex-employees, somebody who you worked with 10 or 15 years ago. They might be in a hiring position right now. You don't know because the bulk of the jobs are hidden, and we'll come to that in a few minutes. So ex-colleagues, acquaintances, friends, family, and your faith groups, whether you and your hobbies and your sports groups. Everyone you meet has their own network. So if you know 20 people and they all have 2,000 in their network, that's a lot of people. That really springboards you, catapults you into a new area. Use that network, but come back to give before you take. Don't just shove your business card in somebody's hand and expect that's going to work. It doesn't. You need to be articulate. You need to be professional in delivering a very compelling message why you are networking. So then you have networking online. The Prime website as obviously LinkedIn. If you aren't on LinkedIn or you aren't active on LinkedIn, you are committing career suicide. So make sure you are on LinkedIn, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. Have a networking card. Printing design services, graphic design services are very reasonable today. Or you can do it on your own computer, but don't print your own cards on your computer, because having that serrated edge is not good. You need to go to a design your own business card, and then take it to send it to a printer. And I personally recommend my clients two colors, use both sides. It's very, very little extra cost to have both sides over one side. Include your name, your designations, your contact info, including your LinkedIn address, your full LinkedIn address, providing it's customized, no numbers and letters after your name, and your Zoom address, and your personal brand. That's your unique promise of value, your differentiator, your value add. When distributing your card, don't just thrust it into somebody's hand. Be very prudent. Open up dialogue, open up conversation, and then would you invite them? Would you mind if I give you my networking card? Be polite, be courteous, be professional, and enter into the conversation first. You need to really get dialogue going before you give them the business card, and accept business cards and follow up afterwards. That's a crucial thing. So people attend these networking events, and then they go, they just leave it, and they've lost it. It's a waste of time. So have your networking card, two colors, both sides, with as much information as you can fit on there as possible. Number 4, this is what St. Patrick tells me: plan the job search, plan the product of the project. A job search is a project. It's a full-time project. If you are in career transition, you have to master time management. Make the most of every minute. Every minute counts. And as I said earlier on, St. Patrick says, don't do your honey-do list. Steer clear of your honey-do list. Establish your goals. Set clear and precise goals. I want to get this appointment. So you need to, and this set salary. You can do it today, because recruitment is very, very good everywhere. Okay. So don't to plan the project, define exactly what you are seeking and go for it. What title, what industry, what geography, what salary. You can do it today. You can. I believe you me, hiring is so strong. Any function, any discipline, any industry, any level, any geography across the world, and I work across the world, is good. Hiring is good in St. Patrick's country of Ireland. I can tell you that. So don't chase every opportunity. Be specific, be niched. Those that focus on that narrow target get more leads and more rewards, and get to a job, rather than focusing on the big wide world out there. So be focused. That's like the bullseye. So focusing, and then if that doesn't work on that small circle, enlarge that circle a little bit, but don't go like this or like this. That is a foolish error. So many people apply for jobs they have no skills for, and that is a complete waste of time, of not your time, but also the recruiter or the HR. And don't waste people's time, because they will remember you. Memory is very, very important. So if that circle, that small circle fails, then enlarge it a little bit more to widen that circle. Before applying for each job, gain an understanding on how it measures up to your career goals, your personal career goals, the ones you set in that project, that plan, when you embarked on a job search. So that's number 4, plan the project. Number 5, this is something that people are totally unaware of, and it shocks me, continues to shock me every day. So beware, only a small minute percentile of jobs are advertised. People think that 80-90% of jobs are advertised. They're not. It's only a very, very, very small percentile of jobs that are advertised. So it's a complete fallacy, a misconception that most jobs are advertised in the Western world and beyond. They aren't. They are hidden. They are hidden away, and they haven't been advertised. They haven't been sent to an executive recruiter, and they are hidden, waiting for people like you to unearth that hidden job and apply, because then you are also in less competition. You're not in with the hundreds if you apply by LinkedIn, Indeed, Aluta, Career Builder, Glassdoor, all the whole long list of them. So you have to assume the skills from my previous profession as a detective. I was a law enforcement detective. You have to become a detective to go and hunt those opportunities out. Okay, so become a detective and go and hunt. They are there. They're in the they're in masses of them, masses of them. So become a detective in law enforcement and then go on the hunt for the hidden jobs. They are out there. I'll give you some examples, some statistics. So in Canada, where I am right now, give or take 1 or 2 percentiles either time, 80% of the jobs are hidden. 80%. That is a huge number. Only 8% are advertised. That includes all the job boards, all the career sites on the corporate websites, and then all the national newspapers, so the Globe and Mail, the Toronto Star, the Hamilton Spectator, the Calgary Herald, etc. So only 8%. That's a very small percentile. 12% are through executive recruiters, so you're up to 20, and 80% aren't advertised. So 80%, sorry, are hidden. In the US, it's 69% are hidden. And in the UK, it's 62% of hidden. So you can see where you need to focus. You need to become a detective in law enforcement, and you need to go and hunt those jobs down. And if you want to go and find out more how you do that, you can go to my my YouTube channel, and please press the subscribe button. I'd be happy to have you as a subscriber, and the bell button. And there are many videos on my YouTube channel on how to go and hunt those job search, because that is a skill set, that is a talent in itself, that is a project in itself. So beware, be educated that only a small percentile of jobs are advertised. So Patrick is horrified. I told him that, and he was like freaked out. So make sure that you are going to hunt those jobs. That should be the focus of your time, not applying on LinkedIn or whatever. So then number 6, you need to develop a personal brand. Having an on or offline presence is essential to standing out from the competition. When you enter a job search, you are in a race. It's a street race, and there is only a trophy, one trophy for number one. You're not if you don't get the gold, you won't get the job. You need to get the gold to get the job. You're not going to get a job with a bronze or a silver or any other medal. So you need to. It's a race, and there is only a trophy for number one. You want to get that gold medal. You want to have that medal hanging around your neck. Okay, so it's possible, but you need to listen to what St. Patrick is saying today, and go on my YouTube channel, where you will learn a lot more, a ton more about how to manage your career and advance your career. Because career management is with you from the day you leave high school, university, or college to the day you retire, 24/7, 365. So developing and articulating your personal brand goes a long way towards improving your visibility. You want to get as much visibility within that defined audience as you can. So you want that impact on potential. You want to deliver a wow impact. I must call this guy. I want to know more about this guy. I want to employ this guy. So think about that, your impact and on potential employers, and making you more attractive to the hiring team. So what is a personal brand? I mean, I could keep you here till breakfast tomorrow morning talking about personal branding, because I'm fascinated by it. So many other people, but so many people don't know what a personal brand is, and they and then they give the wrong, they have the wrong impression. A personal brand, in a nutshell, is your unique promise of value, your differentiator, your value add, your competitive edge. Provide me or St. Patrick a compelling and memorable reason why I, if I was in a hiring position, should choose you over Mary, Mark, Raj, Gustavo, or anybody else. Why should I choose you over everybody else? So a personal brand is very, very important. In a resume, a personal brand should be written in 15, 17, or 19 words as a statement, not individual words, but 15, 17, or 19 words. What is your differentiator? Not individual words. Make it powerful, make it resonating. So you seduce somebody who's hiring to wanting to pick up the phone or go online, Zoom, WebEx, or Teams, or any other platform, and wanting to have a discussion with you, an open discussion to see whether you're a fit. So number 6 is develop your personal brand. Number 7 is embrace executive recruiters. Relationship management is important in your personal life, but very, very particularly in your career life. So from the day you leave high school, university, or college, all the way through to you retire, and embrace um, executive recruiters within that overall career plan, because they are a crucial element for your career management, your career development, your career advancement. So source, build, and retain. This is a big one. But you need to put this in capital letters, bold. Retain rapport with executive recruiters who can bring you value to your overall career management and advancement. So never ever lose relationships with executive recruiters. They are very, very important in your career management. So while you're gainfully employed, don't just drop off the radar and think that an executive recruiter will pick up the dialogue with you after 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 years. They don't. It's very discourteous anyway. You need to keep in contact with those executive recruiters you built a relationship with. It's all about relationship management. So embrace making a building and retaining in capital letters that relationship with executive recruiters. They can bring you huge value in your overall career management and your career advancement. In a nutshell, executive recruiters specialize in each executive recruiter specializes in particular functions, particular industries. So getting in touch with them and securing that initial dialogue can be very, very frustrating because they're busy just like you are. They only have the same number of hours per day as you do, and they work for their client at the other end, who they are sourcing talent for. They don't work for you, a candidate. They work for the client at the other end, and they work goddamn hard for those clients to get the right talent. So you need to be on their radar, and you need to stay on their radar. So building rapport, dialogue, and retaining that dialogue with executive recruiters is so, so crucial. The key to gain their attention are you can do it through LinkedIn. You can look for them up through LinkedIn, and they're they're all on LinkedIn because it's their prime source of hunting down talent. And send an articulate message. Don't just press that send button with no message, no text. That is totally, totally out of order, totally discourteous, and I think it's rude. So there's a reason why you want to connect with them and be courteous and be professional. Why you want to connect. Or you can go through a colleague of yours, whether it be a current colleague or an ex-colleague or somebody else is connected to that recruiter. Often they are very happy to introduce you, and warm leads are better than cold leads. So think of it that way. So through a colleague or other connections, ask them to refer you. That's a really good avenue for you. The recruitment executive recruiters at the large global firms, and there are 6 or 7 or 8 of them, and then the large domestic ones in your own particular country, tend to have researchers. They are the ones that you need to perhaps get the entry into. They are junior, they are often very junior recruiters who want to be senior recruiters, and they're at the beginning of their career in the executive recruitment industry. So go and give the receptionist a call at your local office of one of those big global recruiters, executive recruiters, or of your big domestic executive recruiters and receptionists, and ask what is the name of the researcher that helps Joe or Mary or Mark or Raj or Paul or whatever with with talent and building that database. So you need to be focused on building relationships with executive recruiters. So every 4 to 6 months, while you're gainfully employed, send them an email, a very polite, very professional email, and then they will and tell them you've been working for ABC company, you're having a great time. Send them a performance driven story based on STAR: situation, task, action, result, and then leave it at that. But don't try and connect with them via phone or whatever. That's a waste of your time and a waste of their time. So use an email highlighting your accomplishments, and emphasizing again, reiterating again, that your dedication to executive career management and willingness to review new appointments where the executive recruiter will have coming down the pipeline. Never ever, going back to the first 1 minute, never ever stop your job search. That is very, very important. One thing you need to emphasize to an executive recruiter, what I think I need to emphasize, they don't find you a job. As I said just a minute ago, they have clients at the other end. So get on their radar by various means, and then retain on that radar. And then when they have somebody, a client, looking for talent exactly like you, hopefully your resume and will come out of their database if it's ATS, applicant tracking system friendly. We're going to talk a little bit about that in a minute. St. Patrick told me to make sure you are ATS friendly. So and then hopefully you're going to come out the other end and be put into that talent pool. So that's they are a very, very important element in your overall career management. Once you've built that relationship, whether it be when you're 24, 34, or 44, retain that till you're 64, 65, 67, whenever you decide to retire. And tell them you're going to retire, and then they can take you off the database. Invite them to they've helped you, invite them to your retirement party. Number 8, strategically time your applications. Timing for applications can significantly impact your job search, the success of your job search. Research suggests that applying between 6 a.m. and 11 a.m., doesn't matter what time zone you're on, 6 a.m. and 11 a.m. in your time zone are the optimal times to get traction. For sure, not later than 4 p.m. Don't go later than 4 p.m. So 6 a.m. to 11. Each job posted on the various job boards has a limited run. They're not going to go infinitum. So normally it's 4 weeks, thereabouts 4 weeks. So after it closes, there is normally a 1 or a 2 week silence, where they, at the other end, the hiring authority, the company, they assess all the resumes that have been submitted, and then they build a talent pool, and then they start whittling it down, and then they call those people that they think are very close to what they are seeking for the interview. So strategically time your applications. If you apply during the first week of a job advert cycle, the earliest you will hear positive news is generally 6 weeks. I get people say, well, I applied on Monday and it's now Wednesday or Thursday and I haven't heard anything. It doesn't happen that way. Patience is a virtue. That's saying patience is a virtue. And that's why you should have a cheerleader to get rid of those frustrations. Well, why aren't they calling me? Why aren't they touching base with me? You need to get out of that mindset. So those who don't meet the criteria, the very strict criteria, often they're kicked out by that ATS software, the applicant tracking system software. So they will hear earlier that they have been eliminated or they are not being considered for that particular job. So that tells you as a job searcher that perhaps you're not applying for the right jobs that meet your particular criteria. So you can hear sometimes within hours. So if there's a deadly silence, a long silence, that means they are at least processing your resume. But if it's a very quick one, that sort of tells people that you aren't you're applying for the wrong job. So skill sets don't meet that particular job. Don't apply during the first days. The second and third weeks of a 4-week appointment are the best. So the second and the third time, the second and the third week of a 4-week posting are the optimum times. So make sure you post between 6 a.m. and 11 a.m. Definitely no later than 4 p.m. So patience is a virtue. So many expect an instant reply, and it doesn't work that way. St. Patrick's number 9. Number 9 is pinpoint the company where you want to go and work. Everyone watching today will have companies that they hold in high regard for a variety of reasons, and you want to go and work for them. So there's your target list. This is where we come into the hidden jobs. This is where you can transition into a detective selling your talents to the potential employer. It could be they're expanding fast. It could be they have problems you believe you can address and resolve. They are about to launch new products or services. They are planning an IPO and much more. There's many, many reasons why you might want to go and work for ABC company, XYZ company, DER company, or IBM or RBC or whatever. There are maybe many reasons why you want to go and work for them. So when a client engages me to coach them through job search, I'm their chaperone, their cheerleader, providing lots of ideas and guidance and listening to them vent and whatever. I get them to do 35, come to me with 35 companies they want to go and work for. And there must be 35. If you really sit down and think about 35 potential employers and I get them to write a paragraph or two on why they want to go work for that particular company. And don't just pick any company just for the sake of that getting to that 35 list. I'm very, very particular when I coach my client. Plus, I'm extremely well connected with thousands and thousands and thousands of people across the world. So I might know somebody I can introduce them to in that company today, just Sunday, St. Patrick's Day. I've already introduced 2 people to people at companies, my clients, where they want to go and work as part of that 35 list. So think of the companies you want to go and work for. This is where you start uncovering those hidden jobs. So if you want to go and work for, let's use ABC company, use LinkedIn to find the person who will be your boss or your boss's boss at that particular company. Use LinkedIn to find the person who would be your boss or your boss's boss at that particular company. Send them a connection message, not to ask openly for a job. That's rude, that's ignorant. Just start dialogue. So start some conversation going. So and ask for a job, but talk about how you make them feel good, how you hold ABC company in high regard, and then give them a reason why you hold them in high regard. Don't connect with HR. HR have no initial, that's very crucial, initial function in hidden jobs. They have it, yes, to process once that's got acceptance by the boss or the boss's boss, but they don't have the initial. So don't go via HR. That's a big stumbling block. HR only have a function for hiring initially when it's a result of an advert. And as I've already alluded to and trying to express to you, adverts are the smallest function or the smallest percentile of jobs available anywhere in the Western world right now. So don't connect with HR. That is a big mistake. See if one of your many connections on LinkedIn are willing to introduce you to. There again, it's another warm lead. Just like you get introduced to an executive recruiter, you get introduced to a decision maker at that particular company. So they can introduce you directly. Also, connect with people, employees at that particular AER company or DER company or whatever that off the hiring line, and then you start conversing with them, having some dialogue. They may be in different functions. So you want to work in finance, connect with people in supply chain, sales, marketing, or another function, and enter into conversation with them to discuss the company, to gain an understanding of the culture and possibly uncover the company's pain points. Even in good times, there are companies experiencing pain. They are suffering from particular things. I would say most companies today, in one or other function, they suffer from things. And then when we come to a recession, they're all suffering, or most of them are suffering. So be very, very particular. Gain an understanding of that culture. That's where you talk about, or where you uncover, well, what do they talk about around the water cooler? So if you believe the problems they are experiencing, explore and research further. This is more like when you become a detective. And if the problems have been going on for a time, connect with people, ex-employees, people who have left the company in the last year, probably 6 months or so, and you can find them on LinkedIn. And they've got no allegiance to that particular company, and they might just tell you or spill all the beans and tell you all sorts of things. I can write a book on this, what my clients have heard. So therefore, you've got more research, you've got more data, you've got more backing to see to put a business case to the person for their to try and resolve their pain. Build a business case on the issues and how you can resolve them. Go straight. If you get ignorance, if you get ignored, go straight to the top, the C-suite, the country head, and ask for a meeting, providing just a tweak of interest. Don't tell them what you've uncovered in total, but just a tweet, something to make them want to pick up the phone and give you a call. And it's been highly successful for many clients. So now you can see how long a job search takes. Concentrate your job search efforts on the hidden jobs. That's where the bulk of them are. The competition is almost zero. Whereas you go apply for a job on LinkedIn, and it's maybe 500 up to 2,000 or 3,000 people. So you're in a heavy competition. So applying on a job board is beneficial, but don't make it your full-time part of your job search plan. Number 10, upskill to remain competitive. When was the last time that you upgraded your skills, received a certificate, a designation, a diploma, or degree? For some of you, I bet watching this video right now, this recording right now, it would be 5, 6, 7, or even 10 or 15 years. That is not acceptable today. You constantly need to update your skills. So consider taking a quick career-related in-person or online course to show potential employers that you are serious about upgrading your skills. Because recent education, or when you're enrolled, that really heightens your intrigue to a potential employer. This is another tip. Have written into your next employment contract, when you accept a job, have written into your next employment contract a clause that you will receive a certain amount of funding, part of your severance agreement, for education when you are next downsized. Always have that. Always have your exit clause written the day you land a job or the day you accept that job and you've got the job offer and you've signed the papers. Make sure in that paper the offer that you've got your exit clause and you've got funding for further education. So make sure you go and have education. Now, today, you don't even have to leave home to have education. Online courses are abundant all over the world, from universities, colleges, and other academic institutions across the world. So if you live in North America, how about taking a course pertinent to your career goals from the University of Oxford or the University of Cambridge, who have a huge name for brand name? And if that appears on your resume, that is a plus plus. And then in reverse, if you live in Europe, how about taking a course from, say, Wharton, Harvard, MIT, or Stanford? They also have their huge brands, and that will psychologically increase your competitive edge. And for very little money, you can take dozens and dozens of courses. There are so many available at your Oxford University, Cambridge University, Wharton, Harvard, MIT, Stanford. The list just goes on. But make sure you keep your education up to scratch, because when people come to assess you for a particular job, one of the red flags is that you haven't got current or most recent education. So I would suggest you take anything over your academic learning, any course, any diploma, anything after 4 years, that counts you out. You need to update your skills. It can be a red flag when you're assessed as a candidate. Number 11. This is very, very important. I've just touched on it a little bit, but now we're going to go into a deep dive. St. Patrick says, optimize your LinkedIn profile. Optimize your LinkedIn profile. Please feel free. If anybody's got any comments, what are you learning today? Is anything I've said today been outstanding that that's intrigued you, or that has been mind blowing to you? Please put that in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer them or help you on your way. So, optimize. Number 11. Optimize your LinkedIn profile. If you aren't on LinkedIn, you are committing career suicide. If you are on LinkedIn and have a very basic, sparsely completed profile, you are letting yourself down. I call it the skeleton profile. So with next to nothing, limited text, maybe just very, very, very basic. This is your career management tool, the number one career management tool. From the day you sign up from LinkedIn, use it consistently when you're gainfully employed and when you're in career transition. I bet right now there are executive recruiters, even on a Sunday, St. Patrick's Day. That one of the things they do, they take their projects home and they look on LinkedIn on Sundays for talent. So they could be looking for you right this minute. And if you don't have a fully complete LinkedIn profile, you are probably not going to get on their radar. So your LinkedIn profile, unlike your resume, isn't limited to pages. Okay, you can scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, and it's a very, very comprehensive website platform profile of you that sells you and that you need to be active on. Only so it's limited by only the number of characters, predetermined characters per section. For instance, the About section has 2,600 characters available. Now, I suspect very few of you watching today or watching the replay will have 2,600. I suspect that the bulk of you will have anything between 100 and 400, maybe 500. Don't go to 2,600. But like anything, the more text you put on there, the more Google will find you, the more algorithms will find you, the more Google algorithms will find you, the more LinkedIn algorithms will find you. I suspect that you would probably go to about 1,800 characters in that about section. The vital headline, which lies beneath your picture, is 220 characters. So you need to fill that out right up. Go directly to 220 characters. Make sure that you fill that right up. Not 219, but 220 characters. Ensure you create that enticing, seductive statement to lure people in, to make them want to pick up the phone and give you a call, or at least think about you when they come to hiring talent with your skill set. So you need to complete your LinkedIn profile to the fullest, from top to bottom. The more text you put on there, the more Google will find you, and the more executives will find you, and the more impact you will make. To receive the maximum Google algorithms visits, ensure you have a professional picture of yourself. Not a picture of you hugging your spouse, your kids, or other close to you. Only you. Make sure it's a professional picture in professional attire. Once you place a picture on your LinkedIn, Google will recognize that within a few split seconds, and Google will give you a massive reward for free. For free. It's ridiculous. 1,400%, 1400% uplift in algorithm visits to your LinkedIn profile if you put a professional picture just of you on your LinkedIn profile. Also, customize your LinkedIn profile address. How do you recognize it? Well, you haven't customized it? When you sign up for LinkedIn, could be last year, could be coming up to 20 years ago, they give you a default. If you've got numbers and letters after your name, that means that you haven't customized it. That tells me that you haven't customized it. So what you need to do is you need to go and take those numbers and letters out after your name. And there are various videos on my YouTube channel on how you do that, but it takes you 2 or 3 minutes. So go and take those numbers and letters out after your name. And as soon as you do that, here again, Google will recognize that and applaud you, and will give you a 400% uplift in algorithm visits to your LinkedIn profile. So for free, takes you 2 minutes. Put your picture on, customize your LinkedIn profile. You will get an 1800% uplift in algorithm visits to your LinkedIn profile. So it's a no-brainer. You need to do it. Plus, it's far more professional. It's an active platform. So just having your fully complete, if you fill in all the characters in all the sections, that's still not good enough in my view as an executive career management practitioner. But you need to start being active. This gives you a forum, a platform to market yourself as a thought leader, as a subject matter expert, as a skill set person, an expert in particular in skill. So don't be passive on LinkedIn. Be active. Be active all the time, even when you're gainfully employed. Not passive. It doesn't work out being passive. So use it built around the 3 pillars. Okay, create your own content. So write and draft your own content, and then comment on other people's content and share content. So being active doesn't mean you're in career transition, i.e. job search. It can also mean that you are sensibly managing your career. Don't just drop the day you land a job. Don't just drop off the face of the earth and think, oh, I can pick it up when I get to next in career transition. I'll give you a few examples. Well, one example. Just recently, I saw a client. I hadn't seen him for, I'm going to say probably 5 years. 5 years, and I hadn't seen him at all on LinkedIn coming through my feed. And then one day he was very active. And then the next day he was very active. The next day he was very active. So I decided I'd pick up the phone and give him a call. So I said, do you remember, I wrote your resume, I was coaching you, and blah, blah, blah. Part of that coaching was that you should be on LinkedIn 24/7, 365, even when you're gainfully employed. There was a silence at the other end. I said, I took advantage of that silence. I said, you've just recently been terminated. You've recently been downsized. You've been let go. You've been laid off. And there was another silence. And he said, well, how do you know? How do you know I've been laid off? And I said, well, I haven't seen you on LinkedIn. Do you remember that conversation we had way, way, way back 5 years ago about how you need to remain active? So don't drop, because executive recruiters think that's a negative. Okay, and other influences. So be active, not as active as you are when you're in career transition, but be active on LinkedIn all the time. Okay, so 3 pillars: create your own content, comment on content, and share content. Number 12, have a 2024 ATS formatted performance-driven resume or CV. It's no use you having a 4-year-old resume. First impressions count, and resume and CV formats change both in design and content. I've been writing resumes for 30 plus CVs, resumes for 30 plus years. They've changed more in the last 3 or 4 years than they have done in the previous 27 or 28 years. So if your resume is more than 3 years out of date in format and content, I can tell you that 90%, I'm sure, won't go through that ATS, that applicant tracking system, that scanning application, won't go through that, and you will fail in your job search. So you need to have a 2024 ATS formatted and performance-driven resume or CV. So some of the restrictions that ATS has are quite dynamic, and you need to steer clear of them. It's like a whole long laundry list. I could be here for a long, long time articulating on what it doesn't allow. You can't have shading. Each block of shade creates an extra page, and the text within that shade cannot be read. So if you got it as the header, the name, they won't even know your name. They won't even know your phone number. They won't even know your contact address. So no shading, zero underlines, no hyperlinks. We can have underlines, but you can have no underlines, sorry, but you can have hyperlinks. They are okay. No graphics. So those little pixels of an envelope for your email or a receiver for your phone number. Take them out, because each one of those creates an extra page. So your 3-page resume, 2-page resume can instantly go to 5, 6, or 7 pages. No graphs, no charts, no pictures. Only small squares or circles as bullets. No headers, no footers, because scanning machinery, I don't know why it's programmed that way, but that's the way it is, cannot read the text within the header or the footer. So I'm going to suggest to you, the bulk of you have got headers, the bulk of you, your name, almost 100%, your name and all their contact info will be in a header. Well, they won't even know your name. They won't even know how to contact you, your email, your phone number, your LinkedIn address. So it's like a whole long laundry list of stuff you can't do. And here again, there is a multiple ways of skinning the cat here. One mistake, though, one line wrong, one bullet wrong, one character wrong can count you out of being a candidate. So it's a critical tool to ensure that your resume, you need to ensure that your resume is filled with accomplishments. We hire people today, not because of their responsibilities, but because of their accomplishments. And there's lots of ideas to stimulate you on my YouTube channel. So go to my YouTube channel, and then you will learn a lot about how to build these performance-driven stories. So I build my client stories around an acronym that a bulk of you have probably heard of, but never probably used, is STAR. So situation, task, action, result. STAR. Situation, task, action, result. So you need to build your stories around performance. How much money can you make me? How much money can you save me? How much money can you introduce new systems, processes, practices? Have you gone through IPO? The list goes on and on and on. Every one of you watching today, and everybody watching on the replay, will have a ton of accomplishments. There's a rule of thumb: 1.5 star stories per year. 1.5 star stories per year. So ensure you have the buzzwords on your resume. So make sure, because that ATS is also potential tracking system is also a database. And so an executive recruiter, for instance, has got your resume and he's sourcing talent for your particular skill set. And you have all the skills that he's looking for. If you don't have those skill, industry level, business related, functional buzzwords, keywords, your resume won't come out. So the only responsibilities we put on a resume today are the number of direct reports, indirect reports, your CapEx budget, your OpEx budget, your P&L. And if you work in different countries or have teams located across the world or across your country, then that's also important to put in there. But focus on the buzzwords. Now, when you apply for a job, you look at the buzzwords that they are looking for, and you copy those buzzwords, providing you have the skill set, of course. If you haven't got the skill set and those buzzwords, then don't put them on, because that's totally dishonest. So put those buzzwords as they put it verbatim from the job application on your resume. So finally, proofread. So sending 10 targeted resumes out is better than sending 50 untargeted resumes. So think of it that way. It's not a numbers game, it's quality. So it's quality over quantity. So be very specific. Don't just apply for everything and anything. That's a foolish mistake. You're very frustrated, and then your cheerleader will be very frustrated with you because you're all over the place, and you need to be very, very focused. We talked about that bullet just a few minutes ago. So a resume or CV doesn't get you a job. It gets you the interview. St. Patrick's number 13. Number 13. We're getting there. Interview preparation. You are getting closer to the end and a win. Now, don't kibosh it now because you haven't met the interview protocol. You need to spend a lot of time on the interview. So basically, I break it down into interviewing is a meeting of the minds. It's a conversation, type of dating to see whether you are a fit. Don't just walk into an interview and think you're going to breeze it. That is a huge, huge mistake. Anything to do with career management, just walking in is a big, big mistake. The more preparation, the more research you conduct, the better it's going to be about the company, its history, its management team, its future direction, products and services, the more articulate and confident you will be. An interview is also this is where a lot of other people fall down. An interview is a two-way street, a two-way conversation. So don't just think, oh, you're going to answer the interviewer or interviewers, if it's a panel, their questions. Come forward, come prepared with some questions that you want to ask them. So come armed with questions to ask the interviewer. Always secure the interviewer's name before you get to the interview, and go and Google them before the interview, because you never know. There might be some synergy. You might have gone to the same school many years ago. You might have worked for the same employer many years ago. There might be other things that can match you, and that can be a initial topic of conversation, taking it from a cold to a relatively warm conversation instantly before you get to the hot stuff. So there may be some synergy and before you start opening up that conversation. It should be common sense. Should be common sense, but be presentable. And never, ever, ever take your cell phone into the interview room. Turn it off, leave it outside. I cannot believe I still hear from people, executive recruiters and HR professionals, of people who pick up their phone to take a call during the interview. Goodbye, out the door. That is very, very unprofessional. Don't do that. Be very professional. So be presentable. Have a suitable attire. Not like this, but have some suitable attire, a suit or whatever. Find out from networking off the hiring line what is the suitable attire for that particular company. Could be a suit tie. It could be business casual, more business casual today than ever before. So look out. But then once you arrive at that office, if it's a physical location rather than an online interview, you are being watched. Generally, the receptionist has been briefed and will be asked afterwards what they thought of you. So be their opinions of you. So be careful. They are watching you. So don't do stupid things or keep on picking up your cell phone. Put it down, turn it off, put it in your briefcase, and leave your briefcase outside if you feel comfortable. Leave it with the receptionist. If the interview is by virtual communications, make sure you are familiar with the technology. Is it Zoom? Is it Teams? Is it WebEx? There's a lot of other platforms. If it's a platform you've never heard of, then you need to go to YouTube and you need to make yourself particularly familiar with that particular platform because you don't want to be late. Always turn up early. If it's an in-person interview, do a dry run, know how long it's going to take you to get to the interview site, and never ever be late. One lateness is gone. You're gone. So prepare answers to the most common questions. Some include, tell me about yourself. What are the biggest strengths, your biggest strengths and weaknesses? Why should we hire you? Practice makes perfect. Practice at home several times. Some people have the mock interviews. Even there are interview coaches. I have a great interview coach, and I do interview coaching myself. Never be afraid to practice in front of friends and get them to comment on it. Yes, there's going to be some negative comments, but the more negative comments, it's going to be better because you're going to learn from each negative comment. So every comment, if you're practicing in front of somebody, running at home or in front of an interview coach or whatever, they will be that knowledge they share with you, their opinions, their ideation will be able to help you articulate more of a brand value. So don't just think of answering questions. It's also psychological. There are other things that come into play during an interview. Beware of your body language. Don't flail your arms over your head or whatever. Keep them below here. Body language and poise. Be open and confident and honest, and never bad mouth your previous employers. Multiple job offers can be had today. I've got many clients with multiple job offers in all functions, all countries, but they've adhered to a particular job search strategy that has reaped tremendous rewards. So ramp up your job search when you are in career transition, and you can believe it or not, you can get yourself into multiple offers. They are the pinnacle of a job search and places you in what I would call an envious position compared to your competition, because then you have 3 job offers or 4 job offers or even 5 job offers. That's happened many times. You will then be able to bounce those offers off each potential employer. And not only will you get more salary and benefits and all sorts of other things, but you will maybe able to negotiate other things that will bring you huge value. So bonuses, pension benefits, and much more. So yes, multiple offers are available today, But those people I see in multiple offers have put a lot of hard work, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into their career management. They already probably were managing their career even before they were let go. So number 14, St. Patrick's number 14, be prepared for a long haul. The job search system. Just a job can be very arduous. The job search can be very arduous and frustrating. You want to tear your hair out project. There is no particular length to a search. It could be, as mentioned before, it could be a quick search, but it could also be a long search. If we go into a recession, then the searches are longer, but we're in the best hiring for any function, any industry, any level, any geography I've ever seen in my 31 years. So there's no reason why it can't be reasonably fast job search, but keep positive. It's an emotional journey. You're going to have your ups, you're going to have your downs. You go through a roller coaster when you go through a job search. So make sure you are prepared for a long haul. Success depends on the supply and demand in the market. Well, the supply and the demand, the demand is there. The supply, because we're on a talent shortage, is short right now, and that's to your advantage. So there are 4 steps to a job search system. Be organized. Gather all the job search related information from contacts, resumes, networking notes, and have them in place for easy access. Set realistic goals. You can't go from junior manager or senior manager all the way up to vice president and above. You need to go into all the positions in the intervening space. So set realistic goals. So apply for 5 to 7 jobs a week and connect with two new people each day on LinkedIn. 2 new people, but don't just go and connect with anybody just because St. Patrick says so. He says go and be particular in who you connect with. That's very, very important. So within your target audience. Next one, stay motivated. Keep your energy up by doing something you enjoy outside your particular job search. So hockey or another sport or something else, and take weekends off. Stay that organized. Create a spreadsheet to track your applications, listing job titles, companies, application dates, and interview status. So at least you're tracking where and when you want to what you've done in your job search. So number 15, self-care. Self-care. Have a balance. Don't just work yourself to, yes, I said earlier on, the more effort you put into it, the more rewards will come your way. But don't put 15, 16 hours into your job search. Be very prudent. Rest and family life is very crucial. Stay healthy is important at any time, let alone when you have many negative emotions stemming from a job search. So build some time away from the search into your schedule. So you take a breath, take deep breaths, do yoga or whatever, something else to relax you. So 15, self-care and have a balance. Number 16, we're getting there. St. Patrick is very happy. References. So you're getting so close now to the winning post. So have you got your references ready? Be briefed and checked. Selecting your references should be resolved at the start of your job search, not when you start getting job offers. So you need to do a lot of due diligence. Well, who am I going to have as references for my job search? Have a minimum of 5 references and always have an odd number. So go from 5 to 7 to 9 or whatever. Who should they be? I'm going to tell you that you should definitely have 1, preferably 2, from a past boss, somebody who's retired or somebody who's moved on elsewhere to another company. 1 or 2 from peers, some people who are lateral to you, worked with you recently, so you're on the same level. So if you're a VP, they're on VP level or director level or whatever. Then 1 from an employee. Get 2 if you can. Most recent employees, not an employee that's 10 or 15 years ago. 1 from a vendor/supplier, and then one from a client/customer. And then have someone check those references and the responses they will provide to an interested employer. I can tell you some stories, some horrendous stories where people didn't check their references. And then when they came, they were getting job offers. And then they came, and those people that they thought were friends, bosses, employees, or whatever were bad mouthing them when they come to the references. So have an anonymous check, and there are companies that do that. You have to pay them or get somebody else, somebody close to your trusted advisor, and get somebody to check your references. That's very, very important. Looking forward to that Guinness. Number 17. Here we are. We're wrapping it up. So hopefully you've got some good ideas today. If anybody's got any comments, please put them in the comments below, or any ideas, and then you can also touch base with me afterwards. Go to my website, AnEliteResume.com, www.AnEliteResume.com. More than happy to help you, give you a free resume critique or a LinkedIn critique, CV critique, and also please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So, number 17, be professional. Always show, exude, express your ambition. Be bubbly. We're going to hire bubbly people. We don't hire people who are miserable and down and out, and they're negative. We hire people because of their personality, not just because of their skills. So be professional. Professionalism all times throughout your career is very, very important. Always watch the way you dress, your poise, your smile, your handshake, and the way you interest people of all races, persuasions, and levels. Always, always don't be shy, be bold, because a career management is very, very important. It takes a huge chunk of your overall life. You take your career home with you. So always be articulate in expressing your ambition. Tell people, show you constantly have a drive and determination to meet your defined career goals, and articulate those goals as you network when in career transition, i.e., unemployed, and when you're gainfully employed. Finally, always enjoy your job and be unhappy. Sadly, here where I am in Canada, 67% of people in Canada are unhappy in their job, and it's in the 60s, about around there, for all the other Western world countries. That is not, in my view, not acceptable. There is a happy job waiting for every single one. There are many happy jobs waiting for every single one of you right this minute. So if you want to take advantage of learning from St. Patrick today, the 17 job search tips, you've taken advantage of, listen to this again. It's going on YouTube. You will be able to comment on it on YouTube as well. Start a job search if you are unhappy. If you can't get out of that unhappiness, there is a happy job waiting for you right now. So as I wrap this up, getting closer to this Guinness. Yeah, great. So I am more than happy to provide anyone with a job search, a free resume critique. I'm just going to type my my email in here. Anybody who wants to have a free, no obligation resume or CV critique, I'm more than happy to help you. I'll do it by Zoom anywhere in the world. So here's my email address. Hang on, it's just coming up here. I'm going to put it on the. There we go. Martin@AnEliteResume.com. Mention that you saw me on this live, and that I'm more than happy to give you 30 minutes of my time, no obligation, no sales pitch. I will go through your resume, your CV on Zoom for 30 minutes, but I will tell you as it is, because one mistake, and you're gone. One bit of shading, one underline, all sorts of different things can count you out, where you are the perfect candidate. So anybody want a free, no obligation resume CV critique or a LinkedIn audit, and I will scroll through that from top to bottom, I am more than happy to help you. And if you're interested in other services, I'm a coach. I'm more than happy to help you manage and advance your career, because you need to have people around you to help you to advance and manage your career. I'm more than happy to give you a LinkedIn audit, a free resume or CV critique, and I'm always here for clients across the world. I have clients in 25 plus countries right now. So I'm a global guy, and I'm in my office every day, every weekday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. each weekday to help people manage their careers. So if anybody's got wants any help or any questions, no questions is stupid. Please put them, send them to me via LinkedIn, via email there, and I'm more than happy to answer them. So it's been a pleasure. St. Patrick thanks you for listening to him today. All his tips, I took them down, and there we are, presented St. Patrick's 17 job search tips for you today. Hopefully, even if you just learned one thing, that pleases me, because that one thing can make or break you when you come to a job search. So have a great day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And hopefully I will see you. I have a Tuesdays at 2, every Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern time. I come on and I talk about a different topic live, 2 p.m. Eastern time, this Tuesday. And then on this Wednesday, I'm going on LinkedIn audio. Can't remember what I'm talking about, but I'm going on LinkedIn audio at 12 noon, talking about a different or how to manage your career management, 6 tips for managing your career. So I like to share my information. Have a great St. Patrick's Day. Celebrate. I'm going to go away and sit down now, and I'm going to crack this open and celebrate St. Patrick. Have a wonderful day. I will see you all soon. Thank you.